Hi, I want to welcome you to one of the most important videos you will ever watch in your entire life. If you pay very close attention to what I'm about to say, your life will never be the same again. I'm going to show you how a Saturday night miracle and a $1.4 billion mistake led to the greatest wealth building opportunity I've seen in 30 years, something even bigger than the original internet. Most people miss these waves because they don't see them coming. In this time-sensitive video, I'm going to give you the coordinates before the ship leaves the dock. Hi, my name is Shad Glover. I'm originally from Northern California, but I moved here to Utah in the early 90s to work for Dr. Stephen R. Covey. He is the famous author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the 50 greatest books ever written, according to Time magazine. I didn't even have a degree back then, so it was extremely difficult to get hired, but I networked my way inside. I thought I had reached the pinnacle, but after about 3.5 years, a colleague of ours, Todd, got fired. Not for anything unethical, but for something trivial. And let me tell you, it was the best thing that ever happened to us. After he was terminated, Todd moved to Salt Lake City and started working at one of the very first internet marketing companies that was just starting. And Todd started doing something extremely obnoxious. He started faxing us his weekly paychecks. And his weekly paychecks were bigger than our monthly salaries at Covey, and we made really good money. I hated receiving those faxes. Every week, I was reminded about how much more money Todd was making than we were making. After about 8 months, 8 of us left Covey. It was the hardest decision I ever made, but we moved up to Salt Lake City and started working at the same company. We absolutely crushed it. Within 6 months, we were doing over $600,000 per week in sales. Within 18 months, we were doing $2 million a week in sales. We generated over $323 million because we got involved at the perfect time. But wait until you see the next iteration of the internet we've just uncovered. It makes the original dot-com boom look like a lemonade stand. And this time you can join us and come along for the ride. To generate those sales, all we did was call up businesses, teach them about this unknown thing called the internet, and we told them if they didn't embrace the internet, they were going to be out of business. And that's exactly what happened. Timing is everything. While we were building our machine, 2 of our other friends in town, Craig and Mark, were building the first mall on the internet called iMall. They hit the timing so perfectly, they sold their company to AT&T at home for nearly $1 billion. I didn't know Craig back then, but we were later introduced by a mutual friend who started Costa Vida, a $220 million fast casual Mexican food concept kind of like Chipotle. I put $1.25 million of my own seed capital into Costa Vida. I learned everything. I rolled the burritos, I made the sauces from scratch, and I cleaned the equipment. We scaled it to 58 locations and a $120 million valuation. After we exited Costa Vida in 2012, Craig got involved in the next iteration of the internet, Bitcoin. But not Bitcoin itself, but instead Bitcoin mining. Craig got involved in helping solve the biggest problem relating to Bitcoin mining between 2012 and 2016 when no one knew what Bitcoin was. And that was the power required to do Bitcoin mining. You see, if you were a Bitcoin miner during those years and couldn't source your power cheap enough, you would lose money mining Bitcoin. Craig built a power grid before the world knew what Bitcoin was and made a truckload of money. In business, the bigger the problem you solve, the more revenue you can generate. Now an even bigger problem has emerged, but this time it's 1,000 times bigger. Well, Craig and I know a super successful entrepreneur here in town who built and sold his company for $2 billion. This guy contacted Craig right around or shortly after 2012 because he wanted to launch a Bitcoin mining operation. Working for him was a guy named Kevin, an absolute savant tech genius. Kevin spent 10 years in the trenches working for this successful entrepreneur, and that's how he got to know Craig. After the $2 billion exit, Kevin left that company and got involved in the next iteration of the internet called AI. But he got involved in AI before anyone knew anything about it. See the pattern here? The key to doing big things in your life is to get involved in massive technological breakthroughs before everyone else even knows about it. That's the secret. Kevin spent a decade mastering AI before AI was even a thing. But Kevin ran into a big problem with AI, and it's the biggest problem on the planet Earth right now as it relates to AI. It's compute power. In simplistic terms, it takes about 10 times more computational power to do a ChatGPT search than it does a Google search. AI consumes a tremendous amount of electricity and water, scarce resources, but compute power is the biggest problem. Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and all the others are clamoring right now to build data centers to power the AI revolution. And whomever helps solve this problem is going to make a truckload of money because the timing is absolutely perfect. This is going to be 1,000 times bigger than the internet ever was. After we exited Costa Vida, I didn't talk to Craig for over 10 years. Then on the night Donald Trump was shot at, I was on the internet researching a domain name called Motto, M-O-T-T-O. It stands for Mothers on Their Own. You see, I wanted to buy Craig this domain for his upcoming birthday. Craig and I had unfinished business. We wanted to put $100 million into a foundation to help single moms when we were building Costa Vida. That night, one of my friends sent me the video of the bullet passing by Donald Trump's head. And I texted Craig and I said, "Did you see how God saved Donald Trump's life today?" And I said, "Craig, I'm not messaging you about politics. I'm messaging you because I miss you. And I miss talking about things like this, which is what we often did during the Costa Vida years." The next morning, Craig texted back around 10 a.m. and he said, "Shad, why did you send me that text?" And I said, "Craig, I can't tell you. I didn't want to reveal the surprise, but he insisted, but I wouldn't consent. He asked me if my brother Shane and I were still involved in internet marketing, and I said, of course. He said, "I need to meet with you as soon as possible." And I said, "How about next week?" And he said, "No, Shad, I need to meet with you tomorrow." And I said, "Craig, you know I'm a workaholic. There's no way I can come tomorrow." He said, "Shad, this is important." So the next day I drove 50 minutes to his house and sat in his office for 7 hours with our cell phones turned off. But before he would tell me anything, he said, "Shad, I need to know why you texted me last night." And I said, "Craig, we already covered this. There's no way I'm telling you why I texted you." And he said, "Shad, I need to know." And he kind of got emotional, and Craig's not an emotional person. And I said, "Craig, you and I have unfinished business with each other. You remember how we wanted to start Motto where we could help single mothers?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Last night I was on the internet researching how I could purchase you that domain name for your birthday." And then he said something amazing. He said, "Shad, I don't want you to take this personal, but I haven't thought a lot about you in 10 years. And I said, "Craig, I don't want you to take it personal, but I haven't thought a lot about you in 10 years until last night." And then, like I said, he kind of got choked up. And then he said this. He said, "Yesterday, Shad, I was commanded to put your name on the prayer roll list at church. And then that night, you sent me that text message." And that's how our conversation started. And then Craig spent 7 hours unfolding the entire vision of the AI power problem and the revolution and movement behind it. I wish everyone watching this video could have been a fly on the wall in that meeting. At the end of his presentation, I was absolutely blown away by what he had just uncovered. My head was spinning. I had never heard anything even close to that, and I've been involved in a lot of presentations over the years. Have you ever known anyone who, when they look at you, it feels like they're looking through you? Well, that's exactly what it felt like when he looked at me at the end and said, "Shad, are you in?" And I sat back in my chair and took a deep breath and rubbed my head and my face, thinking about everything he had unfolded to me. And then I leaned forward in my chair and I said something he didn't like. I told him I would only consider bringing my whole internet marketing machine into his AI project based on 2 conditions. And he didn't want conditions, he just wanted me to say yes. But he said, "Okay, Shad, what's number 1? I said, "Craig, if you are considering rolling your big idea as a direct sales or MLM company, I have no interest." And the reason I said that to Craig is because one of his partners had helped build a multi-billion-dollar direct sales company 20 years ago. And I knew that Craig was considering rolling his plan with a multi-level marketing approach. And he didn't like my response. He said, "Shad, what's your problem with multi-level marketing?" And I said, "Craig, there's a better way to do this." And then I told him that in 2014, we took our internet marketing machine virtually in-house with a learning management system company out of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We generated over 249,000 customers in 4.5 years and generated $150 million in sales with no office. And we did it 100% with affiliate marketing. All our influencers, affiliates, and super affiliates loved being part of that project. No one had to put their head between their legs like they do in multi-level marketing. I said in MLM, everyone is embarrassed because they have to talk to their family, friends, and neighbors about overpriced products they have to mark up 3x just to make the compensation plan work. I said in affiliate marketing, it's completely different. There's a better way to do this, Craig. Well, he was a little taken back by my response, but he just shook his head and he said, "Okay, Shad, what's number 2? And I said, "Craig, have you ever heard of a guy named Russell Brunson? He built a billion-dollar company called ClickFunnels." He said he'd heard of Russell, but he didn't really understand the business model. So I explained to him how Russell Brunson built ClickFunnels into a billion-dollar brand. And I told him that earlier in the year, Russell Brunson held a large webinar with all his top affiliates, super affiliates, and influencers, including us. On that webinar, Russell told us that he had just been recently offered over $1.4 billion for ClickFunnels. And then he said something really interesting. He said he declined the deal, meaning he turned it down. And the primary reason he said he did not take the billion-dollar deal because he wanted to protect all of the affiliates who helped build ClickFunnels into a billion-dollar brand. So the next day, I called up the Roger Bannister of ClickFunnels. This guy is known as the Roger Bannister of ClickFunnels because he was the first affiliate to break the $100,000 per month affiliate commission level or profit by just simply putting people into the ClickFunnels ecosystem. And let me tell you something, he doesn't work as hard as you and me. You don't have to work work hard when you know how to work smart, and I'll talk more about that later. Well, the next day I called up Spencer Mecum, and I said, Spence, were you on that call last night? And he said, duh, of course I was. And I said, do you believe Russell? And he said, what do you mean, do I believe Russell? I said, do you really believe that Russell turned down a $1.4 billion deal because of all of us? And he said yes and no. You see, we certainly believe that Russell cares about his affiliates. But I told Craig that Spence and I believe the number that Russell was offered for ClickFunnels was simply not big enough. I said everything is for sale in life for the right price. If that number had been bigger, Spence and I think Russell would have had a fiduciary responsibility to his wife and family and everyone else in the ClickFunnels inner circle, and he would have had to take the deal. But the number was not big enough. And then I looked at Spence because we were on Zoom, and I said this. I said, I have a question for you, Spence. If or when Russell Brunson sells ClickFunnels, how much money are you going to get paid? And it took Spencer, I think, about 2.5 seconds to reply, nothing. And I told Craig that story. And I said, if I agree to bring my whole internet marketing machine and all my influencers and all my super affiliates and my affiliates and all my sales guys and customer support people and my coaches into your AI project, and you're not willing to give up equity, we have no interest. I said, I want everyone that I bring into this, including single moms who have very little resources, I want everyone to have a chance to be part of the AI blockchain revolution and have a chance to be part of the golden parachute. You see, when they built iMall, there were only a few guys who made most of the money. There are still people in our valley that are upset because they did not have equity when iMall was sold to AT&T at home. Again, Craig didn't like my conditions and he said, Shad, I've got partners and I need to talk to them. I said, no problem, Craig. I love you and I'm glad that we reconnected today, but those are my 2 conditions, and then I left his office. I think it was about 2.5 days later, and Craig called me and said, done and done. Meaning we could roll this as an affiliate marketing play, and everyone that I bring into this ecosystem has an opportunity to earn equity and be part of the golden parachute, even single moms who have limited resources. So let me explain the 2 primary opportunities and how you can benefit from all of this if you're still watching this video. I want you to write down the name of this company. It's called BlockReign, BlockReign, BlockReign.tech. BlockReign is a blockchain incubating company, and there will be a future IPO. And even you have an opportunity to participate in the IPO, meaning you can earn stock options and other bells and whistles along the way. Craig and his rockstar team believe BlockReign will be one of the biggest players in the AI blockchain space, and it will literally reign over the entire AI blockchain revolution. Thus the meaning behind the name, and I love it. It has potential to be 100 times bigger than iMall, maybe even 1,000 times bigger. But let me insert a disclaimer here. There are no guarantees in life. There, I said it boldly, and I hope you will appreciate my boldness. As with anything, there are risks associated with anything that has to do with business. Do not buy anything from people who tell you anything but the truth. That said, if you follow the track record of success that I outlined for you, BlockReign has potential to make a tremendous splash in the AI blockchain revolution. And the timing is absolutely perfect for you to participate and benefit in a significant way. Now let me explain number 2. Our first primary blockchain is called the Gnodi blockchain. That's spelled Gnodi, and it's pronounced Gnodi. Because of the extraordinary team of tech savants that Craig put in place, the Gnodi blockchain is better, stronger, faster than Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Binance, and all of the other major blockchain projects out there in the marketplace. And the best part about it is very few people on the planet Earth know about it. And that's a great thing for you. Craig spared no expense and hired a wicked genius team of compliance experts, this is very important, and tokenomics experts to lead BlockReign in this new AI blockchain revolution. The very beginning of a blockchain is called the Genesis block. Craig and the BlockReign team launched the Gnodi blockchain on April 25th, 2025. That was the precise date of the Gnodi Genesis block. And that's a good thing for you because we now have proof of concept. Now let me explain how blockchain projects work. First of all, they are decentralized. No one owns a blockchain. And just like the internet was built on a backbone of nodes, one of the original nodes or backbones of the internet was located here in Salt Lake City at the University of Utah, not too far from where my family and I are located. Blockchains similarly are built on nodes. Individuals who know about these blockchain projects before everyone else can purchase what are known as node software licenses. Each node software license is $1,200. So long as your Node software license stays connected to the internet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is very easy to do, we'll teach you how to do it, your Node software license can generate Gnodi tokens every single day of the year. That's right, you don't have to buy them like Bitcoin. Instead, your Node software licenses will automatically generate Gnodi tokens and deposit them directly into your personal digital wallet that only you can access. Your private wallet is protected by a key made up of 12 keywords, and that key will become one of your biggest assets. Be sure and ask the person who referred you to this video about the importance of storing your key in a safe place, and they will teach you exactly what to do. Gnodi tokens are not money. Eventually, Craig's experts will be able to get the Gnodi tokens listed first on the minor exchanges and eventually on the major exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, Gemini, etc. This process takes about 18 to 24 months. But let me make something crystal clear. If you wait to get involved in the Gnodi blockchain until the Gnodi tokens are already listed on one of the major exchanges, this opportunity will be over for you. Why? It's kind of like this. Have you ever purchased Bitcoin? If so, when did you purchase Bitcoin for the very first time, and what was the price? I first purchased Bitcoin at the end of 2016 and the beginning of 2017 for around $1,800. But by then, it was already too late. There were too many zeros on the left side of the decimal point. You want to get involved in projects like this when there are more zeros on the right side of the decimal point than there are on the left side. Example, 0.01800 versus 1800.00. See the big difference? This is a really important distinction. If I could take you back in time to 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012, when you could have purchased yourself some Bitcoin for under $100, would you do it? Or what if you could have been one of the original Bitcoin OGs and you could have purchased yourself some Bitcoin Node software licenses to mine Bitcoin for you so you didn't have to pay for Bitcoin? Is that something you would have considered? Of course you would. Everyone would do it. With the Gnodi blockchain and other blockchain projects just like it that BlockReign will be launching in the coming years, it's literally like being able to go back and get involved in Bitcoin in those early years before anyone else in the public domain knew about it. That's when you want to get involved, not after those projects hit the minor and the major exchanges when it's too late. I hope you are starting to get this. This is very important for you to understand. So what you're getting involved with here today is a large family, a large affiliate network. Everyone who purchases one or more Node software licenses is doing two things. Number one, you're helping build the largest decentralized backbone of the AI movement and participate in the greatest technological revolution ever. And number two, you're helping us build one of the largest affiliate networks that relates directly to the AI blockchain movement. After a year or two of establishing Node license holders all around the world with our movement, we will begin rolling dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of AI-related products and services around the world through our decentralized network. This will help solve some of the biggest problems that relate to AI and blockchain, and it has potential to make everyone else a truckload of money. If you choose to participate, you will be able to earn daily Gnodi digital rewards or Gnodi tokens, and eventually when those tokens are listed out on the major exchanges, you will be able to go exchange your Gnodi tokens for any currency in the world of your choice with no restrictions. Additionally, as these dozens, if not hundreds of AI products and services roll throughout our BlockReign ecosystem, you'll be able to earn exceptional commissions simply for showing links to people on the internet. And we're going to teach you exactly how to do this. It's super fun to do, and anyone can do this. No special degree or technical knowledge is required. On the internet, there's a rule we followed that has helped us generate hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, and it's super simple. We refer to it as Internet Marketing Bootcamp 101. There are 3 parts. Step number 1, figure out exactly what people want to purchase. Step number 2, find out how much they're willing to pay for what they already want to purchase. Step number 3, show them a link where they can purchase what they already said they want to buy. And when you learn how to do this correctly with automated AI tools, which we're going to teach you how to access, you too can make a truckload of money in the process. There's a lot more to this story, and you're going to be learning all about this after you make your first Node software license purchases today. You can purchase one Node software license, or you can purchase a bunch. It's entirely up to you. The more Node software licenses you have, the more Gnodi tokens you can generate on a daily basis. And when those Gnodi tokens are out on the major exchanges in the next 18 to 24 months, you can then go to one of those major exchanges and exchange your tokens for any currency in the world of your choice. This is really leading edge, exciting stuff. You can participate in this BlockReign AI blockchain revolution by helping people on the internet learn about exciting, innovative products and services that they will for certain want to purchase. And when they purchase through your exclusive affiliate link, again, we'll show you how easy it is to set this up, you can earn significant commissions, plus you can earn Gnodi software licenses and Gnodi tokens in the process, plus you can potentially earn stock options in a future publicly traded company called BlockReign. So you can be part of the golden parachute. It doesn't get any more exciting than this. So I highly recommend you talk to your advisor who is introducing you to BlockReign and the Gnodi blockchain right away so you can secure some of these highly coveted Node software licenses before they no longer exist. Now let me make one final recommendation in closing. If you only have a little bit of money, do not risk your money with this project. There will be dozens and dozens of other projects you can consider down the road. It's not worth sacrificing your current daily needs to be part of this. That said, if you have $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000 on your credit cards, or burning holes in your pockets and purses, I highly recommend you join us right away. Those of you who get started with us today will have a huge advantage over those who wait and follow later, and I mean huge. If I were you, I would do whatever it takes to be part of the greatest revolution you will ever see in your lifetime, times 100 or 1,000. I would get positioned now with BlockReign and the Gnodi blockchain before it's too late. I wish I could tell you everything I know about this movement right now, but I can't. We will be revealing more and more as the days, weeks, and months roll by. We will never see a technological revolution like this ever again. There will be dozens and dozens, even hundreds or even thousands of new millionaires and multimillionaires minted in this new AI blockchain revolution. And I'm not kidding. With the right tools and the right training, and by working with the right coaches, you can become one of the most sought after and valuable people at your jobs, in your communities, and we will help you become one of the most dangerous people in the room. If you are open-minded and teachable and willing to follow step-by-step instructions, especially during the first 6 to 12 months, your coaches will teach you and lead you in this brand new wave of opportunity. You can set yourself and your family up for success for generations to come. I'm excited that you're involved with us. I can't wait to get to know you better. We are going to be doing virtual events and live events to help nurture our community members along the way. There's a lot to learn. These are very exciting times, and you are lucky to be learning about these principles before most of the world even knows they exist. In the coming years, everyone on the planet Earth is going to know about BlockReign and the Gnodi blockchain. Don't wait until everyone knows about it, just like everyone knows about Bitcoin. Remember one of my all-time favorite quotes that I learned 34 years ago when I was working for Dr. Covey. There are those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what happened. Don't be a watcher and don't be a wonderer. Get started today. Talk to the person who introduced you to this video. I promise you, this will change your life forever. You just need to put a little tiny bit of faith and trust in us, and we will earn the rest. You don't need to be a tech wizard at all. This is so simple, anyone can do this. You'll see. If you take action today, we will take you by the hand and lead you to success. Remember, timing is everything, and you are finally at the exact perfect time for perhaps the very first time in your life. Those who get started right now will have a huge advantage over those who wait and follow later in this AI blockchain revolution. There are so many more exciting things I want to tell you, but I simply can't until you are on the inside. If you made it this far in the video, I thank you for your time. I hope you have enjoyed this overview. Get with a person right now who introduced you to this video and let them know how serious you are about changing your circumstances permanently. May God bless you in your personal life, and may God bless your family for generations to come. These are the most exciting times of our life. I sincerely hope you will join us. Take action. Get as many Node software licenses as you can. I promise you will not regret it. I'll see you on the inside.